Welcome back and thanks for staying with Newsnight. Now, at the stroke of midnight, Black Friday will be in full swing, but with an economy that's slowing, and of course, add to that today's interest rate hike. What can we expect this year? To help us answer that question is Moahloli, Commercial Head for Market Insights at GFK South Africa. Good evening. Thanks very much for coming through. So what should we expect?
Well, right now what we're seeing is a frenzy around this thing called Black Friday. It's become such an absolute phenomenon. Black Friday has got the consumers more and more aware that what they can get out there in the market is something quite special, which is two combinations. Price, that's the major culminating factor right now. Some things are going to be nicely priced, and good assortment, which means they get something that's quite decent. One would say value for money.
But is that real? Or merely a perception? Because I hold the view, don't ask me what I'm basing it on, that only a few items are real bargains, and the rest is just business as usual. You're just being lured to get inside the store or to log on and suddenly in the hope that you'll get something that you actually don't get at the end of the day.
100%. 100%. No, you're spot on. What retailers seem to be doing right now is they will select a few categories that will be able to be bought by consumers as a good deal. Now, not everything across the board will be available in that vein. What consumers need to do right now is to get all the information that's available out there and make a very good decision in terms of their buying cycle. We know that retailers are doing this, but consumers equally can still capitalize on what exactly do I need and what is the pricing for whatever it is that I'm looking for. There's a lot of information out there right now.
But then, in that frenzy of we've seen those long queues, people standing or parking outside for as early as the night before, hoping for those bargains. And then the minute the store is open, they rush. In that frenzy, are people think rationally? And can they really see good value?
It's a very good question. What we're seeing right now is that retailers are assisting the consumers by adopting various strategies. A classical strategy right now that's on the uprise is omni-channel approach, which is having multiple ways that you can reach a consumer, online and in store. So what we see is that retailers have a lot more platforms. Some of them are releasing apps. So one doesn't necessarily have to go in and engage in what you just termed now, but rather they can do this on the comfort of their chairs. Shop online and beat the rush. That is more virtual than going inside and making it a physical battle.
Now, there is a view that because of experiences of other markets, experts say like the UK, people will spend more on Black Friday only to hang on to their wallets for the rest of the festive season, which then begs the question, if that indeed is the case, so what then is the value for the retailers in this Black Friday thing?
Retailers are becoming more aware that this phenomenon is here to stay. They may not want to participate in it, but I think ultimately it's a case of they see that the trend is now there. You're right in the fact that Christmas is sort of phasing away. November's taking over. If I can give you a few numbers on the historical results right now. 2015, December grew on November by 30%. In 2016, December grew on November by 2%. And in 2017, December grew on November by -9%. So we are seeing a trend towards November as the new time frame. But again, going back to the selection of assortment. Yes, not everything will be available on Black Friday special, but the ones that are selected will lure the consumer in.
But is that good or bad?
It has to be done strategically. It can be bad if not planned in the right way. And that's why it's imperative that retailers don't also join the frenzy and simply engage in all assortment going on to Black Friday. They may go out of business if they do something like this because, let's face it, prices are dropped to an enormous amount. So they need to be smart about it as well. So the consumer gets a few things that is a bit of a deal, but then it still leaves the appetite for coming in again in December. So they can strategically make it in such a way that consumers shop in both time frames. How big is, how many or what portion of the retail industry is really brought into this concept
kicking and screaming, really, sort of feeling they have to do something because there is this Black Friday thing. And how much similarity is there between them and consumers like myself who don't think that this period comes with very real bargains?
We see so many more retailers joining. Industries coming from FMCG, going to the general tech market. Recently, we saw educational institutions joining the party. We've seen vehicles, companies come into the ball as well. I think it's a case that people, retail-wise, do not want to miss out because it is a phenomenon that consumers are already expecting. Similar to what they were expecting for December, they're expecting the same thing for November.
Whether they like it or not.
Whether they like it or not, it is here to stay.